On this week's episode,
They greenlit the sequel without a story in mind. They just wanted to equal an unexpected gold mine. He said, oh no, as Heston said, I got to go. These are just some of the facts you ought to know as we go. Beneath the minute of the apes. Beneath the minute of the apes. Beneath the minute of the apes.
The only good human is a dead human.
Hello and welcome to the Friday edition of Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies and I watch Richard make really silly faces. I'm Todd. Hi, Richard and Sean. If all of you only knew the tirade I just listened to Sean go through to tell what was going to be on this.
How many times I could do,
So we were up to minute 30,
We're minute 30
on
now.
Friday. Sean, tell us what's going on with minute 30.
We got minute 30, starting with Zaius saying, dare to contaminate that evidence, and ends with Zira wishing Dr. Zaius good luck.
Let's take a listen to this minute of Beneath the Planet of the Apes.
Dare to contaminate that innocence. Why is innocence so evil?
Ignorance is,
There is a time for truth.
and the time is always now.
Yeah.
Are you asking me to surrender my principles?
I am asking you to be the guardians of the higher principles of science during my absence. I am asking for a truce with your personal convictions in an hour of public danger.
And you shall have it, Dr. Zaius, or I shall hit her again.
Let us have no violence, Cornelius. Now I'm relying on you both.
And we're counting on you too, Doctor.
If I should fail to return from the unknown, the whole future of our civilization may be yours to preserve or destroy. So think well before you act.
Well, goodbye, Dr. Zaius. And good luck.
So as of minute 30, we have 3 living humans, 4 dead humans, 1 dead ape, a shrewdness of apes, and a gaggle of humans. All right, now we're at the point where we find there's a time for the truth, and the time is always now. All right?
This minute is really kind of full of that kind of thing.
Yeah, these kind of bullshit accusations of, hey, here's what happens now.
The debate between innocence and ignorance comes up too. We have all these very philosophical ideas that don't mean
I need to find out the truth with your personal convictions. I mean,
Right.
What is this bullshit? You know what? We're going to find out the future out there. We're going to find out what happens out there, the truth. What's the truth? What he deserves. What does he deserve? Honesty. I mean, what is this bullshit? Just tell me what you want to tell me.
that's when Brent pops in and goes, What?
What?
What are you fucking talking about?
Where's Taylor?
So Zaius says, Zaius basically says, are you asking me to surrender my principles? Right? Zaius comes back and says, ask you to be the guardians of higher principles of science in my absence. I'm asking for a truce with your personal convictions in an hour of public danger.
What does that mean?
What? Okay, now, granted,
Give up your bullshit.
Zira and Cornelius are the characters we've been following in this reality. So Zaius can't suddenly turn to somebody we have not ever met before
True.
to take over his role.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what's happening. He needs some confidants to kind of watch what's going on. What I found unique about this to me was it wasn't other orangutans, it was chimps.
Which again, if we
Okay.
had seen any of these things that they've cut from the script, which tells us the trials and tribulations they went through with the heresy
trial,
thing, right?
and he couldn't
Any
have
of
this
that, that
revealed.
somehow, why does he suddenly trusting them? Because in the film prior, he certainly did not trust them.
no,
He would
at
never
all.
give the reins to the kingdom to them.
I had mentioned the fact that he was the antagonist of the first movie. We get to this moment now; he's sympathetic.
That's why I said before, he's almost like their grandfather. Like
Right,
he's,
yeah.
it's okay, you beat your wife, but don't get too low. And it's all very almost jovial. It makes no sense.
It's a weird. It's a weird.
Very big turn for
It's
that
a
character.
huge.
Yeah.
It's a weird ask for him to want Zira and Cornelius to pull back their principles in terms of defying this militaristic tripe.
Right.
Considering
And
whether or not
and want them to be guardians of what Zaius wants.
And
They want he's basically asking him, I'm going to leave. I don't know what's going to happen, and I want you to be guardians of my mission, not yours.
Would he not have been
mine.
afraid of them having that level of control in the
Power,
first film?
for sure. But would society, ape society, give them that power anyway?
No.
Well, I mean, depending on
They were just on trial.
Right.
depending on what you consider happened from the first movie to this movie, if the actual cave scene happened and then blowing up the cave scene, why would Cornelius ever give Zaius any leeway of, hey, guess what? I found all this information,
Yeah.
and you just blew that shit up in front of me and told me I'm going to be prosecuted, so why am I helping you at all? So is that part still part of the continuity of the movie, or did it
I
get
don't know.
excised because they didn't
Right.
show it in the beginning of this movie?
It doesn't.
Right.
None of that makes any sense. And you bring up a really good point. We've talked about how the conversation should have occurred at least to what happened to change these opinions.
Yeah.
What happened to Cornelius?
That he's
Because
so happy
Cornelius
that
was
everything
so
got blown
I'm
up.
going on digs and I'm into this.
And now all his shit got blown up, and he's fine with it.
He's
Well,
just
no
happy
longer
being a
geologist,
husband.
He's a psychologist now. Remember?
That's
Yeah,
true.
it's
He
one of
he
those.
changed his
He had a
ology.
career choice.
No, yeah, he changed his ology.
It was just this like I need you guys to rise up for me and put your own principles down because I'm about to go out there. Even that entire thing that I talked about from the script, where he talks about his quest to find out what's out there and there's some new threat and something unusual in the Forbidden Zone, even if that had been left in, that would make more sense about why Zaius is in peril going to wherever this is, and he needs some stewards of what's happening in ape society.
So-
we did not even get that.
What? How are Cornelius and Zara going to enact any kind of control?
Well, when they have no power, it's not the Cornelius and Zira Museum.
Yeah.
It's the Zaius Museum.
And it's also the orangutans are very much the ones
That's
that
a class.
what we
The
have seen
science,
before that
yeah.
that had led.
Yeah, they're like in charge of the government. The chimps are in charge of
Sciences.
Now,
science
let's-
and the daily things, and the apes are
The
or
gorillas are the
are
militaristic.
military and police.
And at least they're leaving the community. You've removed their presence, so now, but the chimps certainly wouldn't have control.
Let's rewind to the arena scene just for a second.
Okay.
We go back in that moment. We've got Zaius down on the floor of the arena with Ursus. We've got some other unknown orangutan next to him. We've got the chimps on one side. We have the orangutans on the other. And there's this sense that the people that Zaius could rely upon, his own species or a monkey, is just submissive to whatever Ursus wants. But we've also got chimps on the other side that are largely being defiant. And if we, again, look down outside, there are chimps outside protesting.
Okay.
So maybe in this moment, Zaius is saying he sees a rise to power for the chimps. And he can't trust upon the orangutans to do what he needs to do.
All right,
Okay.
so here's what I need.
I don't know.
you
I'm guessing. I have no idea.
I need you to read it further in the script because there's a line in here that would change something for me. Where they say, "There's a time for truth, and the time is always now." Who said that? I can't remember.
Wait, let me go back.
Yeah, it's a time for truth, and the time is always now.
Oh no.
Was that in the prior minute?
Oh, no, I thought it was in this minute. Maybe I was wrong.
We have.
I mean, I have things with the truth through their personal convictions.
While you're looking for that, I this conversation before, how interesting would it have been in all this if Zaius had said some, if Cornelius had said, "You would trust us with this," and he's like, "I can't trust the rest of the orangutans. They've all fallen under the prey of Ursus. I can't."
That would have been nice too. That would have let us know that he needs the two of them for some
Right.
reason.
That would suddenly make it make sense. I am so desperate. I am so terrified of where this is going. I'm turning to the people that I didn't trust before because
Right.
actually you're
Right.
closer to the truth than
Yeah.
they even are.
True.
And they're just missing all these beats. And I know that they shifted directors. I know they did all this. I know they cut budgets. But even if you cut a budget, you can still tell a good story. Because you
Yeah, you don't have to tell a story with money. You tell a story with people and
right. You put your three principal right
Yeah.
here and put them in this kind of thing where suddenly now we're creating suspicion amongst the apes and the apes are even fracturing. That would be a compelling story. Richard's watching something. I don't know what you're watching.
Oh, I'm just watching the minute again, just to kind of pay attention to what's happening. Zero's like, are you asking me to surrender my principles? And Cornelius kind of rolls his eyes. I don't know, just kind of...
We have some people talking about a truce for their personal convictions, and if you give them up, really, are they convictions and all?
I'm asking you to be the guardians of the higher principles of science in my absence by asking for a truce with your personal convictions in an hour of public danger. Our hour of public danger. Public danger.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you give up a truce with your personal convictions, what do they really matter to you?
But what is the public danger? Is the public danger the fact that the gorillas have taken over?
It's not defined.
Is public danger because the humans have moved in and taken their fields, and therefore there's this supposed famine?
I'm going to guess that the danger is the gorillas have taken over is the danger, and therefore, if what I said before was highlighted, which is this is how desperate this has gotten, they've taken our control.
You're going with the gorillas being the danger and not the humans.
To Zaius.
To Zaius. I think so. For Zaius, it's well, again, Zaius is willing to go to the Forbidden Zone, and it's part of the unknown script.
Yeah.
He wants to go to the Forbidden Zone because there's some unknown threat out there.
Mm-hmm. And are they doing
whether man or something else, and he wants to know what it is. But public danger is Ursus, or public danger is what is happening in the Forbidden
Public
Zone?
danger is Ursus. How interesting would it be if Zaius went along almost to kind of push the gorillas out there, knowing that they're about to get wiped
Slaughtered,
out?
yeah.
And what if we kept seeing Zaius kind of hang back and let them go? You know, that gives him another interesting character. There's so many easy things here they could have put in that make it work.
But from a script perspective, are they doing the pronoun game of they, to keep us, the audience, in suspense, or to keep the Cornelius, Zaius people that they're talking about in suspense? Does that make sense? So
it does, or are they doing the they because they don't know themselves?
I don't know.
They're so clueless as to what's going on.
You know what line I absolutely hated? I mean, we can talk about the fact that there's a breakdown in terms of the story. The line that I absolutely hated was Cornelius coming back to him, and you shall have it, Dr. Zaius, or I shall hit her again.
Are you kidding me? I had that there.
Was that a joke? Well, I mean, that didn't really. That came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I literally had. I think he's delivering that a little bit too much. Like he wanted to hit her.
Is he trying to exert his masculinity?
It doesn't work. Also, when Zaius has just given them the keys to the kingdom, that's not necessary.
I know. And then Zaius comes back. Let's have no violence, Cornelius. I'm relying upon you both. It was a weird, like, he was okay with Cornelius hitting Zero earlier, but now he's not. It just didn't. It was.
I felt like Cornelius should have had like a cigar he's twiddling, like a Groucho Marx kind of thing.
It was. It felt like it was a joke. It didn't really. It didn't feel like a good line.
No.
Or maybe give Cornelius some type of like masculinity. I don't know.
I literally had. You shall have it, Dr. Zaius, or I shall hit her again. Like he's delivering a little bit too much. Let's have no violence, Cornelius. And then like he's giving a little side eye. Unless if I don't come back, take care of society. No pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like to me. Like, take care of your wife, but if I don't come back, you take care of society because I don't know what's going to happen.
So
maybe it was because we've talked about the fact that Zero is the one that's leading all this. They no longer have Roddy McDowell. Mm-hmm. So they decided to play Cornelius as weak in these scenes. And in playing weak, they had to give him a moment or two here and there, and then Zaius even puts him back in his place.
If you go back to the courtroom scenes from the first film, they were very much a duo.
They were.
Oh, yeah.
Pointing
they were
out,
a team.
They were.
Pointing out, taking each other, pushing each other, pulling each other back when they had to. Concerned out of love, not out of anything else. And in this moment, Cornelius's reaction...
Like selling her out almost.
Well, it's almost like because I don't know, did he feel negated before? And... It just kind of doesn't work.
It just feels like literally feels like different writers for it.
Does.
Basically.
And why does Zero follow up with, and we're counting on you too?
Yeah, why?
Why does Zero care? If I were Zero, I'd be like, all right, you know what? I'm going to get rid of Ursus. I'm going to get rid of Guerrilla Soldiers. I'm going to get rid of Zaius. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was a weird moment. And we're counting on you too. No, you're not. You want them all gone. You want to change society. You're not going to change society if you're counting on Zaius to do
anything,
nothing you care about.
Right. The movie's rushed to production. They go through how many screenwriters to get where they are. They knew that they didn't want to go with the more avant-garde-ish type things that Pierre Boulle and even Serling did.
They didn't spend...
but did they not sit down to just say...
No, they didn't spend 5 months sitting down examining every minute. No.
And just, not examining every minute, but saying... what state is the world in? now that Taylor's come,